So you've never seen anything like this? So we've got cars backed up way past Wanaka, we've got cars backed up to Hawea, and we've got cars backed up right up the Cadrona Valley. He's saying it's unreal. I'm going to be in bloody big trouble, Toby, because they're not going to be happy. It's not the first time you and I have been in trouble, Toby, but this is not good. This is an organised, this is bloody nightmare. What are you flying, Toby? What are you flying today? You got people staying up in the lodge? Yeah, in the squirrel? Yeah. Alright, well you keep ringing me back with aerial updates, and hopefully you can ring me back in an hour's time and say the roads are moving, but nothing moving anywhere at the moment. It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to do about it down here, but there's not much we can do, is there?
Please be patient. Please be patient. Now I'd like to introduce the old girls of the show, the Traction Engines. And who have we got here? Is this Roger? Sorry, John Hawkins. Step on the stage here, Johnny. You're going to tell us all about these Traction Engines. And who have we got here first? Who's this?
This is the Ted Lewis from South Canterbury with Bill Watson's well known as the well-driven thing. He's also got this traction engine, but he's got a number of very, very fast cars. So he's got a complete lot. Yeah.
John, as we continue to talk about these, how far have some of the people come across New Zealand to be here?
Well, the furthest we've got is from Sussex in England with a steam truck. But and then there's a number of come from Christchurch. We drove and carried on as well.
Tell us about this next one making its way past us now. It's about to come past the fire engine here where we're broadcasting from or commentating from today. Tell us about this one.
So this is a partial traction engine from England. This has been transported down from Taranaki, which is a pretty brave event for these guys. And it's a real pleasure to have them here. It's a small agricultural type engine. There's been a lot scrapped, there's quite a few left. The next one here is a Burrell from Winton. This is originally a Canterbury engine. There's many different makes of engines. There's, there's Burrells and McLarens. It's a bit like Ford and Holden and all that sort of rubbish. This is one of the last two Burrells to come to the country in 1924. And it's out from Winton, as I said. Some younger fellas owned it, the original owners sort of bug it, but yeah. I'm not sure about the next one. I'm pretty sure it's not a traction engine. I might need some help on that, but I don't think it is.
Alright, it's probably worth telling people too. I mean, you guys have been lined up here waiting to come into the parade ground for what? There's a bit of a process in that, in getting the engines up and ready, isn't there?
Of course, it takes up to 2 hours to get steam up, and but it's all part of the fun. You just got to organise yourself a bit better. Yeah, it's just like getting your wife out earlier. So sort of going to start well ahead, don't you?
The history is incredible. I think this is Stella coming past us now. Yeah. I mean, what do you do from a spare parts perspective and looking after them and maintenance and so on?
Well, it's quite basic engineering. But there was a part, so if they could make it then, we should be able to make it now, shouldn't we? Okay. And, but yeah, they're over 100 years old, most of these old cars, and that's the engines, not the drivers, of course. And Stella was originally a Canterbury engine, but it's now in West Otago, run by the club. Could be shaft cutting and that type of thing around West Bolton originally, for horses and so on. But yeah.
You've got various club members represented here by the looks of it too.
I think they're getting a free ride.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Now, a very special welcome for what's coming onto the stage now. This is going to win the award for the longest travelled vehicle because they brought this out from England, the Searle family, in the Sentinel steam truck. We'll see if we can get a word, but this is a magnificent effort to bring this truck all the way from the other side of the world.
We'll show your appreciation, everybody.
A big round of applause. Contacting families from the other side of the world.
Is there whiskey?
See if you can get a word in.
They're a serious contracting company from Horsham in Sussex. They've got a fleet of engines, and what a thing to send it out all the way. That's a Sentinel, made in 1934.
Just explain me to they're feeding water in as we go up.
All the time, that's to keep steam up. They're good for about 45, 50 miles an hour, and they're actually characters. They do appreciate the fact that you guys turn on a range. You know what the Poms are like. They don't like the heat, do they? You can tell that.
Someone said they tried to take it over the Crown Range during the week. Is that right?
Yeah, well, Mum and Dad arrived directly from England via Singapore, 50 minutes to Singapore, half an hour in Auckland, straight through to Queenstown. So the sons took the engine to the Queenstown airport to pick them up.
You're joking.
Now, I've got to say,
Is
that's
that
probably
serious?
first.
Over the Crown Range?
Yeah, they're both the Crown Range.
Oh, I've just got good price.
Park the steam truck burning coal next to the aviation fuel. That's unbelievable. And I remember saying, well, what are we doing now? They said, we're going downtown. So they parked the steam truck beside the steamer walk and had a couple of drinks.
It's a magnificent effort, yeah. Speaking of a couple of drinks, Richard Emerson's Brewery, the Fodden Steam Truck.
It's the Emerson folks. The first one we've got here is a barrel. They drove that down from Canada, 3.5 days. But the Emerson, Alan Farrell from Rolleston, that engine gill trap, that one of the gill traps took that wagon to Gold Coast in 1960 or 59 to form this museum. It's since the one before the fact, and that's quite impressive. It's a three-way tipper.
Three-way tipper, eh?
1926.
Incredible.
Yeah. The next one is a little McLaren from West Melton in Canterbury. The owner's steering, got one of those vibrant vagrant sort of palms doing the steering. They're driving. They're driving this engine from West Melton, which is a hell of a feat. It's quite a small engine, but fantastic. It's ready for a bit of an overhaul. I've got a friend that might be going back to Wingwell very shortly to have that. So, big effort to drive that down. My family saw me about in 1949 in North Canterbury.
So that's the thing about these steam guys. They don't mind a bit of time on the road, do they? They'll go anywhere and
What's the point in having if you don't get it out, you know?
yeah, you certainly get them on.
And this was a Marshall, a local Southern engine, the Scandrick family. It was a roller, and nicely presented, very smart. It's got a barrel funnel on it, which is a reference to something, but I don't know what that means. The Bradley family from Ashburton, with the big Marshall. Their family's had engines for a long time. Richard up there, his grandfather drove it in his working days, so he's proud to see it here. And then we're with Garrett from Edendale, which is owned by the Dixon family, very well known Southern family, Edendale people. Calvin McLeod, true south of that. Well, that's coming down the inside. The chapter is actually from Taranaki with a model. He's got a traction engine at home, but scale. You saw that, yeah. So the wheel forward. What's the one that you
join the traction engines as well and start parading around. We've got some very interesting tractors coming out. The steel wheel tractors. Now, steel wheel tractors are basically pre-1930 tractors because they didn't put rubber tyres on tractors until about 1933. So this is your very early tractors. And leading the parade is Carl Bartley and an Alice Chalmers. And this is a tractor that's working close, never restored, beautifully looked after over the years.
What's your thoughts on parking these in the middle and having the electrics going around the outside of them?
That's a great idea. So we can really showcase the changes in technology. And you've only seen this in Wheels of Wanaka. There's a bloke coming down the outside of the course, rotary holding it up for me, which is fantastic. And he's in a Howard 12 rotary hoe. And he's rotary holding things up so that we get a bit more grip around the course for the race cars later on. There's a Glasgow three-wheeler, tractor from the West Australia Village Club, and a mobile single-cylinder. Now what's happening is something very special now, ladies and gentlemen. A 1910 silver-singing Gifkins, farmed by the Rutherford family, and Leeson Hills, the oldest running tractor in New Zealand by great some margin. There only be a few tractors in New Zealand. And this is imported by the Rutherford family. A farm in North Canterbury. And it's an absolutely magnificent thing. And we're very, very privileged to be able to bring it to Wheels at Wanaka. Then we have an overland tractor, which is an English form of the Waterloo Boy. And we've got Graham Howden, the Howden family looking after the Waterloo Boy and the Overland today. And they are very early tractors. They date from 1916. The Overland spent its life in England, and the Waterloo Boy, its life in America. Now, if there's something you notice about the Waterloo Boy, it'll be the colour scheme, because it's green and yellow. And that's how John Deere got into tractors. They were having trouble inventing their own tractors, so they bought the Waterloo Boy company and got into tractors that way with the famous Waterloo Boys that founded the John Deere line, and to this day, John Deere's are green and yellow.
And we're going to have, I think, all of those that are represented in this division coming into the centre of the Highland Parade. They're going to stay a little photo with us.
Very better opportunity.
Pretty rare to see. I'm not sure the right terminology here, Rusty, but they're going to have a whistle blow. A whistle blow? Yeah, and I was going to say something else, but I had to correct myself. So we'll all get into line here. We'll make a bit of noise. Then we have these alternative fuels. We have the hydrogen guys. If they're ready to roll, please. I don't have them on the radio, but if the hydrogen guys be ready to go, and I believe we do have a few electrics lined up as well.
So one of the things we do here at Wheels of Wanaka is we want to showcase the change in technology over 150 years of history. And so what you're seeing out there is, of course, how the Industrial Revolution started with the invention of the steam engine, which enabled all sorts of things to occur. And then you see a lot of gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles through the years already today. But now we're starting to think towards the future. And I know that you're going to see some interesting things here, because there's obviously a great debate whether it's going to be electric or whether it's going to be hydrogen in the future. But one thing's for sure, you can be sure that the future is going to be a lot different from yesterday. But you're going to see everything between the 150 years of technology today. So we thought it would be a great idea to build this show on
nicely fitted to that truck is a rack of hydrogen cylinders, yeah?
Yeah, it's like 25 kilos of gas. That means that that truck can do about 600 k's before filling them up again, around 33% of its fuel needs. And that stuff is starting to look really interesting overseas, where you've got road trains having to carry a lot of payload. Cargo electric fuel cell hydrogen trucks are a bit hard to run too, but you can still use diesel and hydrogen for the best benefits of being able to carry that too.
Now, I'll tell you what. So this is the way the future is happening. So obviously, Richard's and Bruce have a lot of people coming to listen.
Yeah, it's just by the way, it's always on the way to the show. Haven't seen him yet. I think he's stuck in traffic along with the boss. I said,
That's on the side.
And I know you said earlier we weren't supposed to be talking about this particular thing that's parked in the arena.
no, not about that. No, I just keep talking about hydrogen.
So, for a lot of people, that would be the first time they've seen anything powered by
Hydrogen. And you always remember when you saw it first, folks. The first thing you ever saw powered by hydrogen is you've got the concrete truck, you've got the ram ute, and the freight haulage truck running on hydrogen right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time many of you will have ever seen anything powered by hydrogen, but it won't be the last.
No, I really hope not. No, we've invested in a big production facility in Wanaka to make it so that we can put a lot more of our trucks through it. They're starting to pop up in the North Island, and internationally they're popping up around the place too. This is a great way to start getting that out there.
We are going through change and talking about how we're doing transport these days. So just talk, what about some of the challenges associated with this? Now, you know, you say the word hydrogen, and what's the first thing people think of?
Explosions.
There you go. So tell us about those challenges.
Well, it wasn't, and it was. Hey, look, we've come a long way since then. You don't need to fear the hydrogen tank in a truck. These things, they go through some stringent testing, and some of the cool tests they do, they fill them up and shoot them with a 50 caliber rifle with armor-piercing rounds to see what they do. And they don't do anything fun. They just fizzle out and the gas comes out. Because hydrogen's so light, it will just fire off to the atmosphere at about 25 metres a second. And if it ever caught a flame, you'd never see it. It's almost invisible.
So hats off to the Richards and Brett, which must be leading this technology change in transport in New Zealand. And it's all been done south, and I think this is just, absolutely marvellous. And it's marvellous that you guys can come here to Wanaka and show us this technology. And as I say, a lot of people seeing it here first, and they will remember this for a long time to come. And the other technology, I guess, is electrical technology, which there's something top secret out there, which we're not allowed to talk about, but I guess we'll have to talk about it soon as it's turned up. It's got weird headlights.
I mean, you can't be top secret anymore. It's on the parade ground.
Yeah, but they said don't say anything about it. So, because Elon Musk doesn't want it, like he's back there in head office and doesn't, I think it's, what is it? What do you think that is?
It looks very similar to a Cybertruck, is it? Do you think that's what that is?
It's like it's come from Mars or something.
Yeah. So, I mean,
We need to get a mic down to us.
oh, should we get it down? Should we
They
get it
might not be
down?
allowed to talk, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Am I allowed to talk or not?
Try them out, Greg, see if they'll talk. I don't. See if they'll say anything about what it is. It's a weird looking thing, isn't it?
We wonder, aren't they? Hi there. What's your name? Sam, can you just let everyone know we've got an unbelievably packed crowd here on Saturday Girls Wanaka. What you have brought into the parade ground here?
No, it's fantastic to be here. This is the Tesla Cybertruck, the only one in New Zealand, first time that it's been here, and it's travelled all the way down from Taupo just to be here for this special event. We understand this is the last time that Wheels of Wanaka is happening, so we want to absolutely be a part of it. But we couldn't be here today without the wonderful people at Highlands Motorsport Park as well. So we're really fortunate to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us and having us, and looking forward to meeting some people as we go.
Greg, we need some statistics. Ask them about, how it works and how fast it goes.
The question is, tell us a bit more about it and how it all works.
Cool. So as the Cybertruck, it kind of really is a blend of all of our technology. You might not believe it, but this car has 2 motors in it, and it can go 0 to 100 in about 4 seconds. It weighs 3 tons, and the Cybertruck can pull upwards of almost 5 ton towing capacity. So as a whole beast, it's a bit of a strange, design, certainly, but what it can do and what it represents is really the future. and the future's here, which is really cool. We're happy to be here at Wheels.
I mean, it's the kind of technology that captures the imagination of young people. You have some young people here with you now. I would imagine they're enjoying this, aren't they?
Yes, so everybody, this is Bailey. She's here driving with me. She's doing a great job, making sure I stay straight and true on the road in this left-hand drive. But no, it's definitely something that is polarising, just calling a spade. But because it can do so many things, everybody finds a little bit of something to connect with. So we're over in the Highlands tent. If you want to come in and check it out, we're letting people come through and look at it. It's the first time people are actually able to sit in it as well. So please, come on in, take a photo, give it a bit of a spin.
Hey, Greg, ask them if you can drag race it or something around the back.
Can you showcase a little bit of what it can do here?
I could probably take it for a wee bit of a drive, but we have some pretty heavy restrictions on it because one of Tesla's design principles is safety first. So we've got it in a special mode today so that it keeps everybody safe and sound.
Oh, no, fair enough.
We'll leave it.
We did try. No, thank you for bringing it. Like, this is stunning to see, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it here first at Wheels of Wanaka. You've seen hydrogen first.
How about it?
Hydrogen vehicles. So, as the passenger car transport industry is being transformed, the transport industry is being transformed. Led the way by the Richardson Group, of course, and led in Southlands. But it's not just passenger cars, it's not just transport, it's also farming. So farmers are going to see a big change in technology over the years. And what we've got coming along behind it now, and we'll get someone back out there on the mic to explain what this is. But this looks like the weird, and I quite like tractors, but this looks like one of the weirdest, ugliest looking tractors I've seen for a long time. But it's something a bit different, so we need to send someone out on the mic. Jono, you go out and see what this character's doing on this very silent looking tractor with, you know, where the engine is, looks like where you put your cherries or something. I don't know what you do with it, but it's an interesting looking thing. Find out this bloke's name and where he's from and what he's doing.
Welcome to Wheels of Wanaka. Your name, please.
I'm Ben Fahey, standing in for Mike Casey, electric orchardist. He's got an orchard down near Cromwell, which he's running 21 electric machines and a huge array, solar array batteries. Produces about 85% of the energy he needs from the solar. This is the first electric tractor in the country, Monarch tractor, made in California. This is the prototype that they brought out. He's a very convincing man, Mike Casey, so he managed to get them to send one over here. The main benefit is that it's bloody cheap to run. It's about $2 an hour to run. And it's you know, the cheapest energy you'll get is the stuff you can generate on the farm, as Mike says. So it works well. It's also autonomous, so I don't even need to be here, probably.
So it's a tractor that can go and do tractor things all by itself. And does it know, like those lawnmowers, does it know to go and plug in itself?
Don't think it's quite that good. You do have to plug it in.
And the farm, is it running on solar? What charges the tractor?
Yep, so it's a massive array, about 140 panels I think he's got now on the farm. He's kind of running all of the machines with that largely, and then batteries, so he stores the cheap solar. He's selling off the market as well, so he can generate for about 7 cents a kilowatt, and he was selling last year for 85 during winter, middle of the day. So pretty good market there for farmers, and the farmers, you know, it doesn't really matter what you're into, what you believe in. You know, obviously they like saving money.
Absolutely. So equivalent of a tractor, how many horsepower would we be here?
So this is a 55 horsepower, and if anyone's driven an electric car before, I think you know that there's pretty instant torque, pretty fast off the mark, and so this is the equivalent, he says, of about a 80 horsepower tractor. So a lot of them, it does the work on the orchard, you know, it does some mowing, it's done some ground work, I think, so you obviously a lot of the bigger tractors at the moment, the models put down there. I was talking to some people from Santana.
Sure, with electric, you can't hear it.
In Australia, the Fortis uses for
It's like, speak up.
$4 million worth of huge electric machines, all battery operated, you know, huge megawatt charging. You can basically fill up at the same time as it takes to put petrol on a diesel on the outside.
So to explain what this strange noise is happening under your seat, this sounds like it's a ride.
Well, that's just how the electric engine runs. So it's got gears, so you can obviously low gears. Oh, you're talking to the wrong guy. Okay.
Seeing the Cybertruck couldn't do a drag start. Ask this tractor man if he can do a drag start and see how fast he can get it going by the end of the straight.
Can we do that?
Well, if anyone's sure, this tractor took the record at Highlands a couple of weeks ago for the fastest lap of an electric tractor. Not sure if it took the tractor record, but probably.
Right, enough talking, let's go, just do it. And they're going to go on the board.
He's off. Look at it go.
Well, it's not that fast.
Speak up, dude, speak up.
But I was going to suggest they put it in the tractor box.
Yeah, we'll get that pulling the tractor speed later. So what's up next, guys?
We've got the 125 years of Mack trucks, and we're just waiting on a couple of drivers, but they're shortly to come in over here.
Are we running on time?
Yes, we are. We're going well.
He's bailed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 125 years of Mack trucks.